Have you ever wondered why some women effortlessly attract attention, while others seem to struggle to be noticed? Why do some relationships thrive on mutual respect, while others fall into frustration? Here's a truth that many won't share. Attraction isn't just about looks or witty words. It's about how you present yourself in moments of silence, with quiet confidence and undeniable grace. In a world filled with noise, superficial connections, and fleeting validation, standing out isn't about chasing attention. It's about commanding respect and value. However, many of us unknowingly make the same mistakes: oversharing, overgiving, or worse, chasing. Does this sound familiar? The good news is, you don't have to rely on these ineffective tactics. What if there's a way to completely flip the script? A way to make men see you, respect you, and cherish you, not because you demand it, but because they can't help it. The secret lies in mastering 10 powerful silent actions that scream, "I know my worth." These actions aren't manipulative tricks. They're grounded in timeless wisdom and deeply connected to the philosophy of Stoicism, even tapping into the depths of Stoic psychology. Each of these principles will empower you to exude such effortless value that no one, especially him, can overlook you. Ready to discover how to unlock your inner magnetism and make him value you in a way that feels genuine, lasting, and true? Let's dive in, starting with one of the most critical lessons: the art of never chasing. Once you master this, it will forever transform your perspective. 1. Never chase, always attract. Let's start with a question. Why do we chase? Is it because we genuinely believe someone is irreplaceable, or does it stem from fear? The fear of losing them, of being alone, or feeling like we're not enough. Be honest. Haven't we all been there? You meet someone who seems perfect, and when they start pulling away, panic sets in. You send a few extra texts, overcompensate with attention, or try to fix what feels broken. But here's the paradox. The more you chase, the further they run. Now imagine flipping this dynamic. Instead of chasing, you attract. But how? By embodying a calm, unshakable confidence that silently broadcasts, "I'm worth pursuing." This is where Stoicism plays a crucial role. It's a philosophy that teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. You can't control someone else's feelings or actions, but you can control how you respond to them. Think of it as reclaiming your power. Let's paint a picture. You're seeing someone, and everything seems great until their responses start becoming slower, their effort diminishes, and the dynamic shifts. Most people would instinctively try harder, sending another text, initiating another date, maybe even confronting them. But what if you did the opposite? What if you stepped back instead of leaning in? This isn't about playing games. It's about saying through your actions, "My time and energy are valuable. If you're not willing to invest in this, that's your choice, but I won't chase you." Why does this approach work? Humans are wired to value what feels scarce. It's a psychological principle. When something is too easily available, we subconsciously devalue it. When you stop chasing, you create space for him to wonder about you, miss you, and reevaluate his behavior. This taps into dark Stoic psychology, the art of using restraint, patience, and composure to subtly, but powerfully, shift the dynamic in your favor. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Won't stepping back make him lose interest entirely? Not if he's genuinely interested. If his feelings are real, he'll notice the shift and be drawn to your self-respect and emotional maturity. If he doesn't, then let me ask you this. Why would you want to be with someone who doesn't recognize your value? Stoicism reminds us that sometimes letting go of what isn't serving us makes room for something or someone better. You might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I actually stop chasing? Start by shifting your focus back to yourself. Reinvest in your hobbies, passions, and friendships. When the urge to reach out strikes, pause and ask yourself, what am I hoping to achieve with this action? Is it aligned with my self-respect? It's not about ignoring him or being cold. It's about channeling your energy into becoming someone so magnetic and fulfilled that chasing anyone feels unnecessary. Remember, attraction isn't about clinging to someone else. It's about becoming someone worth being drawn to. When you step into this mindset, you won't just make him value you. You'll start valuing yourself in a way that feels liberating and empowering. So let me leave you with this thought. What would it feel like to stop chasing entirely? to trust that what's meant for you will come naturally, without force. Imagine the peace, confidence, and clarity that this shift could bring. Now, let's continue this journey and explore the next powerful silent action. Knowing your worth like a rare gem. Do you truly know your value? I mean, really know it? Or are you letting the world, or worse, someone else, define it for you? The truth is, many of us fall into the trap of measuring our worth through external validation, whether it's likes on social media, compliments from others, or the attention we receive. When we think about the attention we receive from others, or the ever-shifting standards of beauty and success, it's easy to feel like our value is up for grabs. But here's the truth. Your worth isn't something that can be determined by anyone else, nor can it be taken away. It simply is. Imagine yourself as a rare, precious stone. Not everyone will immediately see your brilliance, and some might walk right past without noticing. Does that diminish your value? Absolutely not. The worth of that gem remains unchanged, regardless of whether others acknowledge it or not. You are that rare gem. The real question is, do you recognize your own value? Understanding your worth is one of the most attractive qualities you can possess. This isn't about being arrogant or boastful. It's about navigating life with a quiet confidence and unwavering self-respect. When you deeply value yourself, everything shifts. The way you interact with others, how you set boundaries, and how you are perceived by those around you all change. People begin to recognize that you're not just anyone. You are someone who knows they deserve respect, care, and genuine effort. But how do you reach this level of self-worth? It begins with self-reflection, a practice deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. Take a moment to reflect on what makes you unique, not the superficial traits, but the deeper qualities. Are you compassionate, empathetic, determined? Do you have a deep sense of loyalty, a creative spark, or an ability to remain calm in stressful situations? These are the building blocks of your intrinsic value. When you focus on these internal qualities rather than seeking approval from others, you start seeing yourself through a lens of strength and individuality. Here's a practical exercise. Next time you feel undervalued, instead of letting doubt spiral, stop and ask yourself, what virtues and values do I bring to this situation? Perhaps you've shown patience in a difficult time, or your kindness has impacted someone else positively. Write these down. This isn't about boasting. It's about grounding yourself in who you are, independent of what anyone else thinks. When you operate from a place of self-worth, something incredible happens. You stop accepting poor treatment, not out of pride, but because you respect yourself too much to settle for less. And here's the key. Others will pick up on this energy. They'll sense that you're not someone who needs to chase after attention or approval. Instead, you'll choose relationships that align with your values, not your insecurities. Think about it. If you don't value yourself, how can you expect anyone else to? The way you see yourself sets the tone for how others treat you. This isn't just a theory, it's a law of human dynamics. It's rooted in psychology. When you carry yourself with self-respect, you raise the standards for everyone around you. As Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not external events." Understand this, and you'll unlock a new source of strength. Your worth is entirely within your control. It's not determined by external factors or other people. It's about how you show up in the world. So let me ask you again, what makes you unique? What qualities set you apart? Take a moment to reflect on these questions. When you truly recognize your value, something powerful will happen. Your interactions will transform. You'll stop worrying about how others perceive you, overthinking their every reaction. Instead, you'll exude a quiet, magnetic confidence that makes others rise to meet your standards. People will eventually reveal their true nature, but only if you give them the space to do so. It's important not to jump to conclusions or try to rush the process. Instead, trust that the truth will reveal itself in time. When it does, respond with grace and wisdom. At its heart, this principle is about alignment. Making sure that people's actions match their words and that this alignment resonates with you personally. By living with this standard, you'll naturally attract those who value integrity just as you do. So ask yourself, are you paying attention to actions or getting distracted by words? This isn't a question for self-judgment, but an opportunity to adjust your perspective. When you shift your focus to what's real, you move into a place of strength. You stop holding out hope that someone will change, and instead see them for who they truly are at this moment. From this clear understanding, you can make decisions that honor your worth and preserve your peace. By focusing on actions rather than words, you take control of your emotional experience. You stop giving your power to empty promises and start investing in relationships that feel genuine. This is where true respect and connection begin. And believe me, it's worth the wait. Now, let's continue uncovering the next steps in becoming someone he can't help but value. Number 4, master nonverbal communication. Imagine if I told you that some of the most impactful messages you send don't even involve words. Think about a time when you walked into a room and were immediately drawn to someone, not because of what they said, but because of the way they carried themselves. That's the power of nonverbal communication, an unspoken language capable of capturing attention and leaving a lasting impression. Now, consider this. What messages are you unknowingly sending out? Your posture, your eye contact, your gestures, even the pauses in your speech, all convey how you feel about yourself and the world around you. Mastering this art isn't about being stiff or overly calculated. It's about aligning your presence with your inner confidence and sense of self-worth. Let's start with how you hold yourself. Picture 2 women entering a room. One walks in hurriedly, her posture slouched, eyes darting nervously around the space. The other walks in with her shoulders back, head held high, and exudes calm and composure. Which one do you notice first? Which one radiates quiet confidence? Of course, it's the second woman. She has mastered the silent art of self-assurance. Your body language reflects how you view yourself. If you carry yourself as someone who values their time, energy, and presence, others will naturally begin to value you in the same way. This is where Stoicism intersects with nonverbal communication. Stoicism teaches us to cultivate inner calm and composure, which then radiates outward in every interaction. One of the simplest ways to improve your nonverbal presence is by mastering eye contact. Strong, steady eye contact demonstrates confidence and self-assuredness. It conveys the message, I see you, and I'm not afraid to be seen. But here's the key. It's not about staring someone down. It's about creating a connection while staying grounded in your own energy. Practice this in all your interactions, whether with strangers or those close to you. Another underappreciated yet powerful tool is the pause. In a world full of constant noise and chatter, the ability to pause before responding, or even to sit in silence comfortably, is magnetic. Why? Because it demonstrates control. You're not rushing to fill the space or seeking validation. You're comfortable in your own presence, and that confidence is irresistible. Your appearance also plays a role in nonverbal communication, though not in the way you might think. It's not about being flashy or trying to impress others. It's about presenting yourself in a way that shows respect for who you are. Wear clothes that make you feel strong, beautiful, and authentic. Groom yourself in a way that aligns with how you want to be seen, not for anyone else, but for you. This sends a powerful message. I care about myself, and I'm worth the effort. Here's another secret. Nonverbal communication is also about what you withhold. In relationships, there's often a rush to share everything: your time, your space, your deepest thoughts. But Stoicism teaches us the value of withholding certain things. It's about balance, control, and being selective with what you reveal, which can make your presence even more compelling. When you don't reveal everything right away, you create an air of mystery. Intrigue isn't about being distant or playing games. It's about showcasing that there's more to you than what meets the eye. It encourages others to earn your trust and gain access to your deeper world. Reflect on how often we unconsciously give away our energy. Maybe you've caught yourself over-explaining, over-apologizing, or overcompensating in conversations. These actions often come from a place of insecurity, but they can be replaced by something far more powerful: stillness. When you speak less but communicate more, when you stand your ground without overreacting, you exude a self-assurance that's hard to ignore. The beauty of nonverbal communication is its subtleness. It's not about grand gestures or flashy displays. It's in the small things, like a slight tilt of your head when you listen intently, the slow nod that shows you're fully present, or the relaxed way you sit that reflects comfort with yourself and your surroundings. This silent strength can transform your interactions. Instead of seeking validation through words, your presence speaks for you. Rather than trying to prove your worth, you simply embody it. And here's the key part. It's not about manipulating others. It's about aligning with your own confidence and authenticity. So ask yourself, what does my body language say about me right now? Is it communicating self-respect, or is it betraying self-doubt? Is it inviting connection, or is it building walls? These aren't questions to overthink each movement. They're an invitation to become more deliberate in how you show up. Mastering nonverbal communication places you in a space of quiet, undeniable magnetism. It's not about striving to be seen. It's about naturally drawing attention simply by being. And trust me, when someone encounters this type of presence, not only will they value you, but they'll be inspired to rise to meet your energy. Let's dive deeper, because there's much more to explore. The next crucial step is setting boundaries without uttering a word. When someone crosses your boundaries, do you feel the need to explain, justify your feelings, or argue your case? Most of us have been there, overthinking, overtalking, and over-explaining in an attempt to get others to respect our limits. But the truth is, boundaries aren't defined by what you say, they're defined by what you do. Actions, not words, are the real enforcers of respect. Think of boundaries as invisible lines that protect your time, energy, and emotions. They don't require long speeches or dramatic ultimatums. In fact, the strongest boundaries are often the quietest because they're reflected in how you carry yourself, the choices you make, and the things you accept or refuse in your life. Here's a powerful mindset shift. You don't have to announce your boundaries to make them real. You simply need to live them. For instance, if someone repeatedly cancels plans at the last minute, there's no need for a lecture on respecting your time. Instead, you quietly stop making plans with them. If someone disrespects you with their words or actions, you don't need to demand an apology. Instead, you take a step back and gradually limit their access to you. Over time, people will learn where your lines are, not because you've told them, but because you've shown them. This silent strength is rooted in Stoicism. The Stoics believed in controlling their own actions and emotions, rather than trying to control others. You can't force someone to respect your boundaries, but you can enforce them by holding yourself to the standard you expect from others. When someone sees that you won't bend, beg, or tolerate disrespect, they're faced with two choices: rise to meet your standards or fall away. Either way, you've protected your peace. Imagine you're dating someone who makes sarcastic or dismissive comments about your feelings. There's no need for a long emotional conversation about how much it bothers you. The next time it happens, respond with calm detachment. Don't laugh, don't engage, and don't explain. Instead, let your actions reflect your boundaries. When people are truly observant, they will notice when there's a shift in your energy. If they don't, you have the option to quietly withdraw, as silence can convey more than words. This action speaks volumes. I won't tolerate being treated this way. It's crucial to understand that setting boundaries without speaking doesn't mean ignoring issues or bottling up emotions. It's about allowing your actions to speak for themselves. When you calmly step away from disrespect or choose not to engage in unnecessary drama, you send a message that says, I respect myself too much to remain in situations that don't reflect my worth. This is where the concept of dark Stoic psychology comes in. It's not about controlling others. It's about cultivating quiet confidence that demands respect naturally. The most beautiful thing about boundaries is that they are an act of self-love. When you enforce them, you're not just teaching others how to treat you, but you're also affirming to yourself that you are deserving of respect and care. This internal validation is far more potent than any external approval you could seek. Now, let's tackle a common fear. What if setting boundaries pushes people away? Here's the truth. It's a hard one, but it's necessary. If someone leaves because you've drawn a boundary, they were never truly invested in your well-being. While it might sting in the moment, losing someone who doesn't respect you isn't a loss. It's an opportunity to make room for people who do. Think about it. Those who genuinely care for you will value your boundaries because they'll understand that these boundaries are rooted in self-respect. They'll see them not as barriers, but as the foundation for building a stronger, healthier relationship. Those who don't respect them will reveal themselves quickly, saving you both time and emotional energy in the long run. Here's a challenge for you. The next time someone oversteps, resist the urge to explain or defend yourself. Instead, pause and think about how you can respond with quiet, deliberate action. Maybe it's choosing not to respond to a disrespectful message or saying no to a request that doesn't align with your priorities. These small, intentional actions add up, creating a ripple effect that alters how others perceive and treat you. I want to leave you with this thought. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're about protecting what's inside. When you set and enforce boundaries without the need to announce them to the world, you create an environment where only the right people can flourish. That, my friends, is how you build relationships founded on mutual respect and authenticity. If this resonates with you, hit the like button and comment 1 below to let me know you're ready to start living with boundaries that command respect. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss empowering insights like this one. This journey has just begun. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Let's continue to build the life and relationships you deserve, one powerful step at a time. Embrace change with grace. Change is a word that often brings discomfort and fear, doesn't it? Especially when it comes to relationships. Perhaps you've experienced it. The subtle shifts, the evolving dynamics, the moments when everything feels uncertain. It's easy to resist change, to cling to what feels familiar, to fight for things to remain as they are. But what if I told you that change isn't your enemy? In fact, it could be your greatest ally. Let's begin with a truth rooted in Stoicism. The only constant in life is change. This philosophy teaches us to stop fighting the inevitable and instead to embrace it with openness and resilience. Whether it's the end of a relationship, a shift in priorities, or the growing pains of love evolving into something deeper, change is a natural part of every connection. How you handle it speaks volumes about your strength and self-worth. Imagine a relationship where things are starting to shift. Maybe he's becoming distant, or circumstances are pulling you in different directions. Your initial reaction might be to panic, to try to control the situation, or to demand answers. But here's the key. The more you resist change, the more friction you create. And that friction often causes people to drift further away. Now, picture this instead. You accept the change. You take a deep breath and remind yourself that, though uncertain, this moment is part of the journey. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the need to control and trusting yourself to handle whatever comes next. This shift in mindset can transform the way you approach relationships. When you embrace change with grace, you demonstrate strength, not just to others, but to yourself. You show that you're adaptable, resilient, and unafraid of growth. This kind of energy is magnetic. People are drawn to you, not because you're clinging to them, but because you've created an environment where love can evolve freely. Here's a truth about relationships. They're not static. They are living, breathing entities that grow and change over time. Sometimes they deepen, sometimes they fade, and sometimes they transform into something entirely new. The Stoic principle of detachment teaches us to appreciate what we have in the moment without clinging to it out of fear. This doesn't mean you care any less. It simply means you're willing to let things evolve naturally. When change happens in your relationships, it's easy to feel unsettled. But what if every shift, every change presented an opportunity to evolve? Perhaps a breakup teaches you to appreciate your worth more deeply. A change in dynamic might encourage better communication, or maybe letting go of something opens up space for something more fulfilling. When you approach change with the right mindset, it's not an end, it's the start of something new. But let's be real, change can be tough. It takes bravery, patience, and a deep trust in your own resilience. It's about facing the unknown with an open heart, not a closed fist. It's about holding on to your core values even when everything around you feels unstable. Here's a practical way to handle change with grace. Focus on what you can control: your actions, your mindset, and your energy. If a relationship is evolving, ask yourself, how can I respond in a way that honors my worth? It might mean having a candid conversation, or it could mean taking a step back to give things room to breathe. Whatever the situation, make decisions based on your values, not your fears. There's also profound beauty in trusting the process. When you stop clinging to the past and begin embracing the present, you create space for life's surprises. Sometimes the very thing you feared losing wasn't meant for you, and by releasing it, you open yourself to something even better. Think of it like this. When a tree sheds its leaves in autumn, it's not dying, it's preparing for new growth. The same is true for us. Every season of change offers us the chance to let go of what no longer serves us and step into a new version of ourselves. This perspective isn't just empowering, it's liberating. So ask yourself, what if you stopped fearing change and started embracing it as a gift? What if you trusted that no matter what happens, you have the strength to adapt, grow, and thrive? Imagine how much lighter your heart would feel if you let go of the need to control and simply allowed life to unfold. When you embrace change with grace, you become unshakable. You show the world and yourself that you are not defined by the outcome of any one relationship. You are defined by how you show up, even when things are uncertain. And that kind of strength is unforgettable. There's so much power in this mindset. You're not a victim of change. You are an active participant in it. When you choose to face change with courage and an open heart, you don't just survive, you thrive. Let's keep moving forward together. There's still so much to uncover about becoming the kind of person who earns respect, admiration, and love, not only from others, but from yourself. When you're in a situation where you feel compelled to explain or make excuses, there's a quiet power in responding with calm certainty. A firm no without anger or drama sends a strong message. You are clear about your boundaries. This simplicity is incredibly powerful. It shows that you understand your needs and are willing to stand firm in honoring them. Saying no isn't just about relationships. It's a practice that affects all areas of life. It means knowing when something no longer serves you and having the courage to step away, whether it's turning down an invitation, distancing yourself from a draining friendship, or not settling for less in your career. Every time you say no, you take back your energy and your focus. However, let's be honest, saying no can feel difficult. Especially in the beginning, it can make you uncomfortable. You might fear being seen as rude or uncooperative. But here's an important question to ask. Who matters more? The people you're trying to please, or the person you're trying to honor? The answer is obvious. Saying no is in fact an act of self-love. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. To make this more actionable, next time you're tempted to say yes out of guilt or fear, pause. Take a moment to breathe deeply and ask yourself, does this align with my values? Will it bring me closer to the life I want? If the answer is no, give yourself permission to decline. A no doesn't have to be harsh or defensive. It can be kind, calm, and still firm. This practice is closely linked to Stoic psychology because it disrupts the usual dynamics of power and control in relationships. When you say no, you're quietly asserting your independence. You're sending the message that your worth isn't tied to someone else's approval. And that kind of confidence is incredibly attractive. Let me leave you with this thought. Saying no isn't about rejecting others. It's about affirming your own sense of self. It's about making space in your life for what truly matters, people and opportunities that reflect your values and elevate your journey. The next time you're faced with a choice, remember, your no is a tool of empowerment. Use it wisely and watch it transform not just your relationships, but your entire self-concept. Now, let's shift gears and talk about another powerful principle: carrying yourself with pride. Imagine walking into a room and people turn their heads, not because of your clothes or your words, but because of your presence. It's your energy, your posture, the quiet confidence you exude. You don't have to be loud or flashy to capture attention. The secret? You carry yourself with pride. But what does that really mean? Carrying yourself with pride isn't about arrogance or perfection. It's about self-respect. It's about embracing who you are, flaws and all, and showing up in the world as your authentic self. When you do this, people notice. And most importantly, he notices too. Carrying yourself with pride begins with your internal view of yourself. Do you treat yourself with kindness, or are you constantly self-critical? Do you value your time, or do you let others waste it? How you see yourself sets the tone for how others will treat you. If you're always second-guessing yourself, apologizing unnecessarily, or downplaying your worth, you send out a message that you lack confidence. But when you walk tall, embrace your unique qualities, and move through life with assurance, you project an entirely different energy. Here's a simple but transformative principle. How you present yourself reflects how much you value yourself. This doesn't mean you need to wear expensive clothes or adopt a specific style. It's about intentionality. Are you choosing clothes that make you feel strong and confident? Are you standing tall with your shoulders back, owning your space? Small shifts like these not only change how others perceive you, they change how you perceive yourself. Let me give you a scenario. You're at a social event and notice two women. One is hunched over, fidgeting with her phone, avoiding eye contact. The other is relaxed, poised, smiling gently, fully engaged in the moment. Which one seems more intriguing? More magnetic? The second, of course. And here's the secret. You can be that woman, not by pretending to be someone you're not, but by embracing the confidence you already have within you. Stoicism adds another layer of wisdom here. The Stoics believed in focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. You can't control every outcome in your relationships, but you can control how you present yourself and how you respond to the world around you. Carrying yourself with pride is about showing up as your best self, not for others, but because you deserve it. This principle extends to your actions. Think about how you speak, how you listen, and how you handle challenges. Are your words thoughtful and intentional, or are you just trying to please or impress? When you listen, are you fully present or distracted? And when things get tough, do you panic or do you stay calm and composed? How you respond to life's challenges speaks volumes about your inner strength and confidence. Here's another powerful insight. Carrying yourself with dignity isn't about being perfect. It's about resilience. Everyone faces awkward moments, difficult days, and moments of doubt. The key lies in how you handle them. Do you allow mistakes to define you, or do you choose to learn, grow, and keep moving forward? When you demonstrate that you can navigate life's ups and downs with grace, you become someone others admire, including him. Let me ask you, how would your relationships shift if you fully embraced your worth and acted accordingly? What if, instead of bending over backwards to impress someone, you focused on being your true, confident self? What if, instead of chasing approval, you let your actions and energy speak for themselves? This shift in mindset is not only transformative for how others perceive you, but also for how you see yourself. When you carry yourself with pride, you stop settling for less. You stop tolerating disrespect or half-hearted efforts. Instead, you attract people who recognize and value your worth because they see that you value yourself first. If this resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below or hit the like button to show that you're ready to embrace your power and carry yourself with pride. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights because the journey of becoming your best self has just begun. There's so much more to discover, and I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Let's keep moving forward. Let's talk about something that can feel both exciting and daunting. Change. Change in relationships, in life, it's something we all face. Change is inevitable. Dynamics shift, emotions evolve, and situations challenge us in ways we never expected. It's easy to see change as something to resist or fear. But what if we viewed it as a gift, an opportunity to grow, adapt, and discover strength we didn't even know we had? The thing is, when you resist change, you create tension, not just in your relationships, but within yourself. You hold on tightly to what was, out of fear of what could be. But when you embrace change with grace, you communicate a deep trust in life's natural rhythm. This isn't about being passive or indifferent. It's about learning to flow with what you can't control and focusing your energy on what you can. Imagine you're in a relationship and things begin to change. Maybe the initial spark feels different, or external factors make it harder to connect. You might feel the urge to hold on tighter, to demand answers, or to fix things right away. But here's a truth rooted in Stoic philosophy. You can't control someone else's emotions or actions, but you can control how you respond to them. Instead of panicking, take a step back and ask yourself, what is this change teaching me? Maybe it's asking you to be more patient, communicate more clearly, or even evaluate whether the relationship aligns with your values. By shifting your perspective, you can turn change from an enemy into a powerful teacher. This isn't just about reacting to external changes, it's also about recognizing and embracing changes within yourself. As you grow, your needs, desires, and boundaries may evolve. And that's not only okay, it's beautiful. It's a sign that you're alive, learning, and stepping into a fuller version of yourself. When you honor these internal changes, you show others that you're not afraid to evolve, and that kind of self-awareness is magnetic. But let's be real, embracing change is not always easy. It requires letting go of the need for certainty, and that can feel uncomfortable. You might wonder, what if I lose him? What if this change ends the relationship? Those fears are valid, but they shouldn't hold you back. Holding on to something that no longer serves you will only block you from what's truly meant for you. Sometimes, letting go is the most courageous and loving thing you can do, for yourself and for the other person. Here's an exercise to help you embrace change with grace. Whenever you feel resistance, pause and breathe. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of losing? Is this fear based on reality, or am I telling myself a story? Then shift your focus to what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your energy. By grounding yourself in the present moment, you release the grip of fear and open yourself to new possibilities. Stoic psychology offers another layer to this principle. It teaches us to approach change with curiosity rather than dread. What new opportunities might this shift bring? What strengths might it reveal within you? By framing change as an ally rather than an adversary, you empower yourself to navigate even the most challenging transitions with poise. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone pulls away. Your natural reaction might be to chase, to cling, to demand answers. But what if instead you leaned into the space they created? What if you used that time to reconnect with yourself, to explore your passions, and to grow in ways that fulfill you? Not only does this demonstrate immense inner strength, but it also shifts the dynamic. Instead of trying to control the outcome, you focus on becoming your best self. And in doing so, you naturally attract respect and admiration. At its core, embracing change with grace is about empowering yourself to navigate life's uncertainties with strength and wisdom. Trusting yourself, trusting the process, and trusting that what is meant for you will find its way into your life. This is key. But here's the catch. It doesn't mean you just sit back and wait for things to unfold. Instead, it means showing up fully, taking inspired action, and staying open to the unexpected paths life might lead you on. So, here's a question for you. How would your relationships transform if you stopped fearing change and saw it as an opportunity? What if you let go of the need to control everything and embraced the freedom of simply being? When you meet change with grace, you demonstrate a rare kind of strength that draws people in. You show that you're not attached to one specific outcome and that your self-worth isn't tied to any one relationship. This mindset doesn't just make you resilient, it makes you magnetic. Because nothing is more captivating than a woman who can navigate life's uncertainties with an open heart and an unshakable sense of self. The journey to becoming this woman is continuous, but it's one of the most rewarding paths you can walk. Stick with me. There's one more piece to uncover, and it's going to tie everything together in a profound way. Let's dive into the concept of healthy skepticism. Think about it. How often do you take someone's words at face value? It's easy to get swept up in the excitement of a new connection, right? Sweet words and promises feel intoxicating, but the truth is, words are simple to say. Actions, however, reveal the truth. Having healthy skepticism isn't about being bitter or distrusting. It's about staying grounded and protecting your emotional well-being. It's not about doubting everyone's intentions. Rather, it's about taking a moment to step back, observe, and ensure that what you see aligns with what you're being told. This principle, which ties back to Stoicism, encourages you to stay logical and balanced, even when emotions are running high. Here's the powerful question to ask yourself. Does this feel real? Or am I simply believing what I want to hear? Think about it. How many times have you been drawn in by someone saying all the right things, only to realize later that their actions didn't match their words? Maybe they promised consistency, but their actions were sporadic. Maybe they painted a picture of a future with you, but never took any tangible steps toward making it happen. These moments can hurt, but they also teach us how to discern with clarity. Here's the beauty of healthy skepticism. It slows you down, allowing you to truly get to know someone before fully investing. Instead of rushing into something based on sweet talk or surface-level gestures, you give yourself the time to observe their behavior and see if their actions line up with their claims. This approach doesn't just protect your heart, it ensures you're building connections on a foundation of authenticity and trust. Let's look at how this works in practice. Imagine meeting someone who seems almost too good to be true. They're charming, attentive, and quick to express their feelings for you. It's tempting to dive in headfirst, but instead, you pause. You observe. Do they follow through on their promises? Are they consistent? Do their actions reflect the picture they've painted with their words? By taking this approach, you create space for the truth to reveal itself. If they're genuine, their actions will confirm their intentions, and your trust in them will grow naturally. If they're not, their inconsistency will become evident, saving you from the heartache of investing in something that isn't real. This process isn't just about protecting yourself from deceit, it's about deepening your understanding of those around you. Healthy skepticism encourages you to ask thoughtful questions, listen attentively, and approach connections with curiosity instead of assumption. This aligns with the principles of Stoic psychology, which emphasize staying present, observing dynamics, and making decisions based on evidence rather than raw emotion. Now, there's another layer to this principle: applying skepticism to your own emotions. Sometimes we're so eager for something to work out that we convince ourselves to ignore red flags or settle for less than we deserve. By practicing self-awareness and questioning our own reactions, we can ensure that our decisions are coming from a place of clarity and confidence, not fear or desperation. It might seem like a lot of effort, but here's the thing. Healthy skepticism doesn't make you cold or closed off. It makes you wise. It empowers you to approach relationships with balance, making sure you're neither too guarded nor too trusting. When you find this balance, you open yourself up to truly meaningful and fulfilling connections. Here's a simple exercise to help you start cultivating healthy skepticism. Next time someone makes a promise or a bold statement, resist the urge to immediately take it to heart. Instead, take a mental note and give it time. Observe their behavior. Do they follow through? Do their actions match their words? This isn't about testing them. It's about giving yourself the gift of clarity. You might be wondering, doesn't skepticism make you seem untrusting? The answer lies in how you approach it. Healthy skepticism isn't about accusing or doubting. It's about quietly observing, holding space for someone to show you who they really are, rather than rushing to conclusions. This subtle difference makes all the difference in how it's perceived. Ultimately, healthy skepticism is about honoring your worth. It's about saying, I'm willing to give you a chance, but I won't lower my standards or ignore my instincts just to make this work. This mindset is incredibly attractive because it shows that you value yourself enough to prioritize emotional safety and authenticity. So let me leave you with this question. What would your relationships look like if you approached them with both an open heart and a discerning mind? How much stronger would your connections be if they were built on trust, not illusion? This is the power of healthy skepticism. It protects you, empowers you, and ensures you're building relationships that truly honor your worth. When you embrace this principle, you don't just become someone he values, you become someone he respects, admires, and is inspired to rise for. You've made it this far, and that speaks volumes about your dedication to becoming the best version of yourself, not just for attracting others, but for your own personal growth, confidence, and fulfillment. Let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've covered so far. From learning not to chase and mastering the art of nonverbal communication, to setting healthy boundaries and embracing change, each of these subtle actions builds upon the other. Together, they create a solid foundation of self-respect and magnetic energy. These principles aren't about playing mind games or manipulating others. They're about standing firm in your truth and letting that truth guide your relationships. The power of these 10 actions lies in their quiet strength. They don't demand attention, they command it. When you live in alignment with these principles, you naturally create a presence that others can't help but respect and admire. You become a rare blend of strength, grace, and authenticity, a woman who knows her worth and encourages others to rise to meet it. But here's the most important point. This journey is not just about how others see you, it's about how you see yourself. When you embody these principles, you're not just showing him what you're worth, you're reminding yourself of it every single day. That inner transformation, it's priceless. So, let me leave you with one last question. What would your life look like if you fully embraced these principles? Picture yourself walking through the world with unshakable confidence, forming connections that honor your value, and letting go of anything that doesn't serve your highest good. That's the life these actions can create. A life of dignity, depth, and lasting value. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to show your commitment. Hit the like button, leave a comment saying, "I value myself" below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Share this video with someone who may need a reminder of their worth, because growth becomes even more powerful when we do it together. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, you have everything you need within you to create the life and love you deserve. Until next time, keep growing, keep thriving, and most importantly, keep valuing yourself. You are worthy of all the love and respect this world has to offer. Never forget that. See you in the next video.